because I don't know, it were the first part when we listened to Friends. It was okay. I followed his thoughts about being in the army, about observe around himself, about combinations of his thoughts, and then it was interrupted and it came to Charlie. Yes. And,
yeah. So then we went to America.
yes, then we went to America. So to follow the next life story. Yes. And now I think that we are about to watch how they met.
Yes. Very good, very good. Give me your kind of feel so far, what you're getting out of this, Valerie.
A bit like Eva, I think the beginning was really easier for me to follow. I had to listen to the other part many times, but the more I listened to, the more I enjoyed the book. And what really stands out for me, it's not really the fights and the war. It's more the links between the characters, between the crew. That is really something I enjoy, and I learn a lot from that. Even the relationship with the German who are fighters, flyers, pilots, and the party. I didn't know they were so far away in their mind, and I know that very much.
That was interesting to me too. Okay, I'm trying to do what Santa does here. Yes. So rehab. I see no speakers, microphone. You should leave and try joining again. And Santa is here. Santa, I'm doing your job. How am I doing? Thanks. Very good. Hi, Jack. Welcome. That's actually a joke, everybody. Hi, Jack. If you go to an American airport, never say hi, Jack, because it sounds like hijack.
Okay.
So, Jack, if I ever meet you at the airport, I'm just going to say, hi, Mr. Lee.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to, Jack, I'm going to ask you to mute your mic. Thank you. I'm going to give this to Santa. I copied it. Santa, I'll put that in the chat room. Give that to you, and I'll give the control to you if you don't mind. Santa probably minds. But Santa does such a great job. We'll wait for Santa. There we go. Good. Wow. Yeah, she's very quick. Yeah, so my overall feeling so far was maybe because I'm a guy, I don't know. I really enjoyed the fight scenes, and I was actually surprised at how well the fighting was described, and the story was going too slowly. I wanted it to be faster. I wanted it to be louder. I wanted to feel the sounds of explosions and guns. I wanted to feel the G-forces in the planes. I wanted to feel the landing in the water and the swimming, getting into a life raft and going to shore. I wanted to visualize and feel the fear, the adrenaline that these men experienced. I know it sounds crazy, but it was very exciting to me to listen to this story, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I was enjoying it. Let's go ahead and get a little specific. Santa says, I would never want to feel any of that. Yeah, it was pretty exciting. So there were many stories, but I want you guys to tell me about one thing in particular that you remember, and I want you to tell us that story as though it were your story. So I know that Eva and Valerie have listened to it. I know that Lita did not. Jack, I assume, did not. Santa, I know, did not. I'm not sure about Rehab, so maybe Rehab has. So Eva or Valerie, would you like to describe one particular story or event in some more detail? Please.
Yeah, I can, if you want, speak about the chapter 11. I liked it very much.
This is the farm boy. Tell us.
Yeah, the farm boy. So at the beginning of this chapter, we have two guys in the sky on a flight, B-17, and they look very young, like teenagers. One of them, Charlie, is only 20 years old. And this flight is their final test. They entered a training course to become pilots, and they have to remain in the air for 7 hours. The good thing is they can choose the journey. They can go wherever they want. And Charlie chose to fly over his own land where he grew up as a child. And during this flight, he speaks with his co-pilot, and he tells him about his childhood. We learn that he had a really tough childhood. His mother died when he was 12. Then his father fell into depression. He never missed a day at school. He used to milk the cows before school. He was even a janitor at school, and during the weekend a National Guard, just to make ends meet in his family. And one day he joined the army. It was for him a good way to make a living out of it, to have a good job. And he decided to enter a box tournament. His opponent was very old, and he thought that it will be easy to fight against him and to win. Then he learned two good things, I think. The first one is never underestimate your enemy or your opponent. And the second one is his opponent told him that he was too kind of a kid to join the army, and that he should try out the Air Corps. And that was his choice, and he thinks it fits much better his personality.
Great. Keep going. Is that it? You want to stop?
For the chapter 11, and he managed to fly just over his town.
Yes,
and
that's what I want to hear.
His father recognized him without really seeing him, but he knew it was his son. And the farm boy is very proud to be a pilot now and not to be a farm boy anymore. And it's just so emotional. And he's so young. I'm so surprised to see 20 years man flying like that. I'd be happy, really.
Yeah, I'm just writing this down. All right, so I'm going to copy this. This might be too long. Santa, I'm going to ask you to, I think it worked. I'm not sure. Yeah, it all worked. It all fit. Santa, can you copy that over? And what I'm going to do, since I know Lita didn't read this, Lita, I want you to read what I typed. This is Valerie's summary. We're just going to listen to it one more time. Lita, can you read it? We start with "we meet." If Lita's there. Sometimes people are in. Okay.
We meet two guys in the sky, a B-17. They are very young-looking boys. Charlie only 20. It's their final test flight. They're training to be pilots bombers. And their tasks stay in the air for 7 hours. The nice part, they can choose their route. Charlie picked his hometown during the flight. Talks with his co-pilot. We hear about his difficulties. Mother died, father depressed, but Charlie worked and studied very hard. He worked really hard. He joined the army, good money, good job. To develop himself, he started boxing. His first opponent was an old guy. He lost. He learned, never underestimate your opponent, and he was too kind to be a fighter, soldier. He should try the Air Force. He flew over his town, and his father saw his son. They didn't see each other, but they both knew each was watching. They were both very proud. He was no longer just a farm boy.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. And I heard your son. Hi, son.
He went.
He went to get a beer.
Yeah, a beer and some girls.
Yeah. Valerie, how was that? Was that pretty good? Did he do a good job?
Yeah, really. Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah, I agree. And also to you, super job. So it's really funny, Valerie. Like you said, you were much more interested in the people and their personality and the relationships and stuff like that. And I was more interested in this section.
Yeah, but that's perhaps why the book is so has such a success. We can all find something that will keep us interested by listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. That's right. So this book is a book about war. And let's be honest, generally women would not be interested in such a book. It's terrible. It's about death and fighting and blah, blah. But this book has really two nice sides to it. One in which we are able to experience the battle, but the other in which we get to meet the people and we get to become a part of their lives, which is very nice. Yeah, great point, great point. Thank you very much, Valerie. Eva, tell us a story. Eva, there you go. Eva, your mic is off. Oh, Eva, still the microphone is off? Is there a problem? I saw it come on and off. No, there you go.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but I think that I can't speak about one particular chapter.
That's okay.
I have just some thoughts that make a kind of influence on me, or to think about it, him to think about it, or I don't know.
Okay, let's save that. Let me save that for a little bit later then. I'll tell a story and then we'll come back to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. I guess I'll tell the story. Valerie, help me out if I'm wrong. I think it took place on Cyprus. Is that right? The island of Cyprus?
Which part? About Charlie? So about first?
About Franz.
Ah, okay. Or he went to Italy.
Was it in Greece though?
He spent Greece, yeah, Italy, and on his way back, he discovered that Germany was attacked.
Right, but he was on an island. Was it Sicily or Cyprus?
Sicily.
Okay, thank you, Sicily. And I have to write this down, otherwise I'll get lost here. So I'll take the screen from Santa. Okay. On the island of Sicily, Franz was becoming a respected and respectable fighter pilot. And there was one time when many American bombers were flying overhead. I need to tell the story and then I'll type. Oops, I'm not showing a screen anyway. Okay, so on the island of Sicily, Franz was becoming a respected and respectable fighter pilot. And there was one time when many American bombers were coming. There was an air raid. Oops. What the heck happened? There was an air raid. Woo! And they had this big airfield. The Germans had an airfield where all their bombers were. And at this point, the planes needed to go into the air to defend the airfield. But Franz, his plane was not in good shape. It was not ready to fly, so he didn't have a plane. Several of the pilots had already got into the air, and Franz was looking for a plane. So he ran to one plane to take the plane to go fight, but as soon as he got to the plane, another pilot said, "No, that's my plane, you can't have it." So he ran to another plane and tried to take it, but no. Every time he tried to get somebody's plane, he was turned down. He couldn't do it. And eventually, it was too close. The planes, the American bombers, were too close. And he realized he had to run. He had to protect himself to save his life. All the other soldiers on the ground were in bunkers. Bunkers are dugout areas in the earth. So when the bombs would explode, they would be protected. Unless, of course, a bomb directly hit them. then it's terrible. But in general, they would be protected. But he had run so far, there were no bunkers. This was an extremely dangerous situation. But then he remembered close by, in an area where there were many trees, he had seen other soldiers doing some construction. So he realized, aha, probably in that area there's a hole in the earth that I can climb into and be protected. So he ran super fast. The planes were coming. At this point, the bomber planes were directly over him. He looked up. He could see the silver bellies. He could see the openings in the planes dropping bombs. The bombs were on their way to the ground. So he ran and he saw, yes, there was a hole. And he dived into the hole just before the bombs started hitting the airfield, exploding and shaking and destroying everything. When Franz got into the hole, he realized it wasn't a bunker. It was actually a latrine, which is a bathroom where men pee and poo. Fortunately, it was a new latrine, so not many men had used the bathroom very much, and he was dirty, but not too bad. But that didn't matter. The bombs were raining down, and the bombs were so powerful that trees were snapped in half, that the ground was just destroyed, and more holes were created in the ground. Planes were destroyed. And the sound was so loud that when he covered his ears, the pressure of the bombs, almost made it as though his head were going to explode. But as soon as it started, it stopped. And he was able to leave the latrine, and he walked back to the airfield, and he saw some of the planes he wanted to fly in were now destroyed. He wondered about his plane. His plane was broken. They were fixing it. So he ran to find his plane. Amazingly, his plane was in perfect condition. So he knew soon he would fly again. There. How did you like the story? No reaction. Good. I thought it was so funny. Nobody's laughing. I'm so sad. Valerie, did you laugh? Lita, did you laugh?
About he got in the P area?
Yeah.
Sorry, Shane. You have a strange humor.
Come on! The guy's... Oh, he runs, and it's a bunch of poo! Yeah. Oh, well. I thought it was funny.
At this point, I laughed. It's true.
Thank you.
I did, but the situation wasn't so funny, but only this one. And it's very often in our lives that sometimes you don't know what to do, to laugh or to cry.
Yes. Yep. 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 Yeah, the story it's a tragedy. This tragedy worked out okay, but that's what's so interesting is even if you listen to war stories, even like Kurt Vonnegut, which I think I'll have us do in the future. War is a horrible, obviously, we all know. It's just a terrible, terrible thing. But the people who survive war, civilians and soldiers, the people who survive best are able to find humor and happiness in moments. Not in the story, but in moments. And I think, it's kind of like life. For some people, life seems really great, but for some people, life really sucks. It's really bad. And if you just focus on the bad things, because every day it's just nothing. It's not what you want. It's just not good. And if you focus on that, yeah, you're going to be sad. You're not going to be a happy person. But the people that are happy almost seem stupid. How can you be happy? Life is terrible. But what they do, I think, is they're able to focus on the moments of funny things, the moments of love, and that's what I did. Maybe because I was in the Army. I was in the Army, and it was hell. It wasn't fun. I lived on the DMZ, which is the point between North Korea and South Korea. I lived for over a year, almost a year and a half, in a tent. It was hell. But now that I look back, it was some of the best time of my life as a young guy. I really enjoyed it. There's nothing in particular that I enjoyed, not the work, but the time alone, the time in nature, the freedom from the commanders, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, yeah. Valerie, you're going to say something. Go ahead.
I wanted just to ask that I think it is the first book that make me understand the friendship between, sometimes you meet a guy and you can see him recognize someone he was doing his service, army service with 20 or 30 years ago, and I didn't really understand this friendship, this attachment. And now I can realize how hard their life has been over there and how close they were, how respectful of others too, and always ready to fight, to protect the honor of the crew. Yeah, that is really well shown in this book, and I can feel it deeply. I really enjoyed it. About the song with Lily Marlene,
Yes.
too, how one song can make everything feel better. Wow, that's just amazing.
Oh, man. See, and this is something. Yes, that's such a good point. No, Santa, I didn't. That's okay. People can just listen to it again and again. Valerie's last point was really good, so please write that down. I'll say two things. Now she understands. You can say this. Now I understand how men can be great friends after 20 years not seeing each other, when they have this experience in the military or war. They have honor and they respect the protection of that honor. And her second point, and I want to talk about this, her second point, it was also so interesting how one song can make everything okay. It was so powerful. Oh, there's more. Yeah. Or that, I'm sorry, the song, I was, so she's, Valerie, something like this. I was surprised at how powerful that could be. Valerie, what was the name of the song again? Because it's not familiar to me.
Lily Marlene. Lily Marlene. Lilli and Marlene.
So Lily Marlene. Santa, can you write that?
Marlene. Ah, I can write it down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lily, yeah. Uh-oh. Hold on a second, guys. I just had a problem on my stove. Okay. When I was in the Army, and this is a long time ago, back in 1986, it was a good time to be in the Army because there was no war, nothing big for the U.S. Army. And but when I was in the Army, a song came out, and I think the singer, I think his name was Lee Greenwood, and the name of the song was I'm Proud to Be an American. Let me just double check that. Yeah, I'm proud to be an American. Yeah, yeah, and that song actually came out in 1984, but I didn't know it was country music, and I had never heard it before. But we had a basic training graduation, so it's thousands of 18-year-old boys with no hair, super tired from weeks and weeks of extremely difficult training. We were graduating from basic training, and they played this song. You can listen to it later if you want. Yeah, I'm Proud to Be an American. That's the name of the song. Wow! I think every boy, it was a stadium, and I think every boy had tears in his eyes because we were literally proud to be an American at that point. We're in the Army. So yeah, and every time I hear that song to this day, I remember the stadium, and yeah, and suddenly I get tears in my eyes. And I have a friend, a classmate, who was actually killed in war, and I think of him every time. And of course, I'm really sad, but that's, I feel really happy at the same time. It's kind of terrible. My friend, his name was Brian, gave his life because he was proud to be an American. And yeah, this power of music can be amazing. Hypnotic, even hypnotic. Great point. So the name of the song, Lily Marlene. Valerie, do you know the name of the song? Because I do want to listen to that song. I want to know what it was. Do you know by any chance?
If you Google it, you will find it easily. It's very well known in France, so I can
It's Marlene
look it up.
singing Lily Marlene.
Yeah.
It's a Nazi song.
It's much more like a love song for me, but
I'm gonna show. I'm gonna take it from Santa. Hold on a second. I'm gonna show you what I found. Make presenter. Show my screen. This is the image that they give. Isn't that horrible?
oh.
Yeah, so that doesn't make it sound very appealing. But yeah, I will definitely listen to this because yeah, because it's part of the story here. Very good. So Lily Marlene is the name of the song sung by Marlene Dietrich. There you go. I'll give it back to Santa. Very good. Yeah, and Santa and I talked about this. Quick opinions. Should women fight in war? We'll start with Alex. Yes, no, short sentence. Should women fight in war? Starting with Alex, why, Santa, do you put your answer? Alex, go ahead. If you're not there, that's okay. Let's go to Jack. Give Jack a chance to talk. Jack, what do you think? Should women fight?
Okay, I think if they want or if they have the ability to fight in war, I think they should have the chances.
Really? So, Jack, may I ask how old you are?
24?
No, you're a baby. Do you have a sister?
No.
Can you? You're single.
Yeah.
So one day you'll get married. Yes?
What? Sorry?
One day in the future you will get married.
Yeah.
You might have a daughter.
Yes.
Would you want your daughter to fight in war?
I think if she won.
Wow, great. No, I'm just curious. Very good. You're a very liberal man. In China, the army has female soldiers, right?
Yes.
Do they have infantry, female infantry?
Sorry, I don't understand the meaning of infantry.
Infantry, so when we talk about a soldier, there are many, many, many types of soldiers. Infantry are the boys who actually shoot the enemy.
Oh, sorry, I don't know much about this.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Thank you. That's a great answer. I was just curious. Thank you. Let me go to Eva. What do you say, Eva? Women should be allowed to fight in war?
So I think nobody should fight. I would abolish all the fights.
Yeah, that'd be nice. No, abolish, Santa. Abolish. Yeah, all the boys and girls should stay at home. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, but that's only
it's very, very difficult time for all people, and I think that any situation has many sides, not just one, and there may be so many mistakes and errors and I don't know what that which are not able to be fixed in the future.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, of
And
course.
now when in last years I read more about the war from different points of view, and I find it very, I don't know, I'm trying to put myself in different situations, and I'm not sure how would I behave.
Right.
And what would I choose from when you have just a second or a half of a second to think about it,
those decisions.
know, so demanding, and so I think that it's very the very bad, very black side of human
Humanity.
history.
Yeah.
History.
Santa, I'll read your section there. Go ahead.
So no, I wanted also say some points which made me think about from this book. Can I?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it was interesting for me that the pilots, the bombers, when they shot an opponent, so they counted their victories. Yes, only this point was on the on the surface. Yes, and okay, it was from their point of view. But what was very surprising for me, but not surprising, but showed me that there is feature of character cheating, yes, and that cheating was also present at this group of pilots who, yes, that they scored more than they said they had scored more than they really did. Yes. So, and I don't like this feature of character. I don't like cheaters in any any place, any situation, and so I was surprised that also here they made it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Oops, we got some echo. Where's the echo? Eva, can you mute your mic for a second?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, exactly. So there was one aspect of the story was the cheating pilot, and they would say they killed an enemy, but actually they hadn't. And so this is a dilemma for the soldiers because you've got some lying, cheating soldiers, but the problem is if you make this a big issue, not only the cheating pilots, but the team is a failure. And now we have this problem of honor, which is what Valerie was talking about, learning about honor. And that's the thing about in the military. It's protecting honor. So eventually they were able to catch the cheaters. And what happened to the cheaters? They were extremely remorseful. Remorseful. Santa, can you catch these words? I don't know if she's able to do that. They were extremely remorseful. And they ended up doing a very good job, and they never cheated again. They became good soldiers. So the story was this cheating. You know, people are people. People are evil. People always do something terrible. But that's the nice thing about the military. The military gives you a chance to fix problems before they get too big. But in civilian life, if there's a cheater, the cheater goes to jail. That's the end of the story. In the military, if there's a cheater, Not only does the cheater go to jail, but the entire team. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh. But the entire team goes to jail. Okay? So that's the difference. In you know, our world, one guy does something wrong. So one guy kills somebody, then he goes to jail. But in the military, if one guy kills somebody, about 10 people go to jail. So that's why this honor thing is so important. It's so important. And that was the lesson there. The cheating, nobody likes a cheater. But in the military, what they do with the cheater is they catch him and they embarrass him and they give him a chance to stop and to become a good soldier. And that guy did eventually become a good soldier. So yeah, the beginning of the story was really terrible, but the ending of that story was actually very good. And it's a lesson in military honor. Very good, very good. Santa, let me go back to you and what you were talking about there, please, regarding women in the military. You have a good story there.
Oh, I just knew a lady who was in the Canadian infantry, and she was telling me she was talking about how Americans don't really, it's really hard for American girls to get into infantry because it's taxing, physically very strenuous. It's almost impossible for women to
They're not strong enough.
they're not strong enough. And she was complaining how, you know, Americans just don't let girls get in there. And but then also she said, she admitted she actually had an office job, although she was in the infantry, and she was complaining about, you know, how the boredom, and but also she admitted that the training was actually impossible for her. She was a really strong woman. She was a bear, but still, it was compared to the boys, it was almost impossible for her. So the question is, she was complaining about, you know, women not having equal opportunities when it comes to military jobs, but she also admitted that it was kind of impossible for girls to do the job. So
So she just killed herself. I mean, she's a hypocrite.
that's what I thought, but I don't know, these days they discuss how women should get into, maybe should be allowed in Marines and things like that, and I just thought it was, I don't know, it's hypocritical of some women. I'm sorry, I'm attacking my own race or my
Your own gender.
but, yeah, my own gender, but I thought it was funny how they just talk to talk and not really see what they're talking about.
That's a good point. As a soldier, the last thing I wanted to see was a woman next to me. And it's not because it's a woman. I think of my mom, my grandma, my sister, my aunts. I don't want them. I don't care how strong they are or strong they aren't. I don't want them on the front line. I don't. I don't want my mom picking up a gun and going to attack somebody. If that has to be done, I'll do it. Am I a sexist? Maybe. Maybe I'm old school, but that's the way I feel.
Can I just jump in?
Sure.
I actually I tried to be in an ambulance crew basically, and we have like a buddy system, so you don't work alone, you have to work with a buddy.
Yeah.
You always have a partner, and it was very humiliating because I was too weak, and I mean, you have to
Yes.
like lift stretchers. Sometimes, I mean, you have like bariatric, you know, these things, but still, you gotta, sometimes you have to just lift the person.
And people can be big.
It can be huge. And there was a tiny guy. He was so small. But then I couldn't lift him. I put the bandages on. I put everything, you know, whatever, the neck collar and everything and things like that. And then I tried to lift him. And almost, you know, dropped him. And, you know, you can't do that with patients, basically.
No.
You'll kill him. Or, like, you know, you'll, I don't know, you get sued and everything. Things get really ugly. And, you know, can you imagine in a war,
Yes.
if you can't handle that physical, you're gonna get your buddy killed.
Yep.
Or get your buddy in trouble, and that's like the last thing you want. It's not just yourself.
No.
And I don't understand, like, these women who actually talk about it, I wonder if they actually done something that, they're under pressure, working with a buddy, lifting people up, getting through predicaments. It's not easy, and it's just, I don't know, sometimes it angers me.
Yeah, this is, I agree, Santa. I absolutely agree with every point. When I have experience dragging guys and picking guys up, and I'm a small guy, and the big guys never wanted to work with me. Now, I had no problem carrying people, but they were nervous because they knew, man, how is this guy going to get me? How is he going to carry me out? And I guarantee I'm stronger than most women. Of course, there are going to be many women who are stronger than me, but I don't know. It's a general thing, and I agree, Santa. I appreciate that women would be very accurate in, perhaps shooting, but it's the physical strength at the end of the day that worries me. And then, of course, it's the natural instinct as a guy to be more violent or protective, forceful. Now, if an enemy came to my house, I would want women to fight, hold that gun and shoot the enemy. But going to war, I don't like it. I don't think it's appropriate. Defending the home, yes, no problem. Shoot, kill. But going to war, I have a problem. Anyway, it's a very interesting and big question. There's no right answer, probably. Thank you, everybody. Again, the next 3 hours. So the book, hold on a second. I'm going to take it from Santa. There you go. So right now, I think Eva is the farthest. And Eva, you said you were up to 15?
I just started the 15th, so the books, the 14th, I finished.
Okay, okay. So let's do this. 360, so 360. 180, so 270. Let's go up through chapter 19 next time. So we want to get up through audio chapter 19. If you have the book, maybe page 280. So you want to go through 19 all the way up to chapter 20. So basically, wherever you are, try to get up to this point, to page 280 or through chapter 19. That will be our goal for 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, that's where we want to be. I'll give the screen back to Santa. Once again, personally, I'm very much enjoying the story. It's not easy, but I think if you don't focus too much, you might enjoy it a lot. And like Valerie said, she is enjoying one aspect, the relationships. Personally, I am enjoying the battle up to 280. Go up to page 280, chapter 19, through chapter 19. I'm enjoying the battle, the actual physical description of flying and war is excellent, really excellent. It's a great book. Very good book. That's it. Questions about anything? Alex is on the subway. Oh, that's good. Your family misses you, Alex. Alex Trubnikov. Always good to have you. You guys, thank you very much. Alex, Eva, Jack, Santa. My roommate is sleeping.
Coach N, I'm sorry. So you say everybody's sleeping and so on, but we have to be mute. It takes time to unmute, and sometimes there are problems, so you are not really right in saying that.
I'm teasing.
Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Jack,
Bye.
the name of the book is A Higher Call. And I'll write it in the chat room. Higher, thank you, Santa's much faster. A Higher Call by Adam Makos. Makos, I don't know. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.